And I'm walking keeper, but also Take on the World is doing a memorial for Rob Skiba, and I definitely want to join them. But as I was hiking keeper and before, I also have an appointment. So I'm taking the pulpit for the first time in my life. I want to get to TOTW, Take on the World, and I want, okay, appointment, Take on the World. I have to talk to Harmony. And then I have another private phone call with somebody. I can't name who they are, but I hope she knows and remembers who she is and remembers to call me because I really need to speak with her. But anyway, so two phone calls. I have an appointment. Um, then Take on the World is talking about Rob Skiba. And also, I'm going to take the pulpit for the first time. I wrote out 2 pages worth of notes. It is going to be a repeat. Okay, most of you have known this, but when it comes to me introducing my ministry, I am going to start from the foundation and definitions and then go from there. That way, going forward, when I speak from my pulpit, um, we all know what I'm talking about very clearly. So most of you might not want to tune in because it'll be a repeat. Um, and I hope that you just come join me. So I'm going to start off with spiritual warfare, my routine, and where to start with all of it. Where to begin from 0 to 1,000. So I hope that you like. I'm probably not going to be able to go live until I don't know what time it is, 1 to 1.5 hours from now. Okay, I need to do some things first. Then I'll go live in an hour and a half. And then after that, I would like to be able to talk to Amelia as we were discussing. And then after that, I have a private phone call with somebody. Hey, Christine, Bonnie, Mr. Burns, Erin, Greta, Amelia. Forgive me that I'm so... Victoria's still waiting for me to call her back. She's probably very angry with me, and if she is, I don't blame her. But she's very patient and tolerant with me, and I deeply appreciate that of her. Um, but anyway, so let me run my errand, and then I'll be back. But first, I wanted to ask you, while I love you, get your face on, look great. See, my face is on. Look at me. I'm dressed. Look, this is what I'm wearing to preach from the pulpit. Hey, codependent, how are ya? I'm going to take the pulpit for the first time and talk about Yeshua and what I did to get close to him. I've been checking out some of your videos. You know, thank you for that one. Thank you for your sense of humor, because sometimes I get so serious, but that one video, boy, it made me laugh. And then I thought, wow, Holly, I don't even want to piss you off. And what was ironic is the soldier you had in the video named O'Neill, that was the last name of the family that originally did the saving prayer with me when I was 18 years old. I was like, oh, no way. Well, my prayers to you and your family. So, but we just met. But anyway, the big thing that I want to say is, hey, it's Karen. How are you? Christine. Oh, what is this, guys? Seriously, this is what this whole video is about. What is this? No, that's her. What is this? Look at this. Okay, so before I fall over. All right, so hiking through the woods, right? Hiking through the woods. To grandmother's house we go. Over the river and through the woods to grandma's house we go. What is that? Now, I think this is facing... Oh, Mr. Burns, I'm sorry again for getting snippy with you with my altars and stuff. And I'm sorry to Stacy, who I got snippy with today. And I got snippy with Rebecca, but I'm trying to do better. Okay, so there's a brick. I don't know. I try to stop and take notice of my surroundings. You know, keep my head up. Like if I take a drink of water, don't bend over and drink from the river like a dog, but rather, you know, cup my hands and bring the water to my mouth so my eyes are on the surroundings, on my surroundings and environment. So this would be pointed west, I think, right now. But what is it? I mean, I thought it's a cute little fort. I would have done that. This is like actually stuff I did as a kid. Chestnut. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I have a video of me dancing around a convenience store to that song. Chestnuts roasting on an open. Anyway, but look. So I'm looking in there. Come here, Keith. You're pulling on me. So I'm looking in there, and right there is a rock. It kind of looks pointy, right? But this looks like kind of a cool fort. But then as I'm noticing that, I mean, obviously that's intentional. I didn't do it. The kids over here, they play in the creek and they build dams. But then I noticed over here, it was like a second separate little hut. And then in here, it's got 3 bricks. Will you move? I don't know what she's sniffing at, but there's 3 more rocks. Well, a brick and 2 rocks. That's a brick and 2 rocks. So obviously it's intentional. And then I thought, wow, could this possibly be like an altar and sacrifice? I really don't think so, guys. I don't. I think it's the kids horsing around. Because they're like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And they come to the park all the time. There's like, a playground here. They're redoing the basketball court. Hang about. Yeah, too bad I live here. Hey, it's Jordan. I love you. Thank you so, so much, Jordan. You made me feel really good. Buried something under the rocks. Ooh. Come here, Keith. You're supposed to have my back. Get over here. That could bring me bad juju. Well, I don't think anything's under it. I think a spider just fell on my face. I don't know. I don't want to touch it, but I don't think anything's under it. But this would be a cool little fort. Like when I grew up on my grandparents, well, my grandparents raised me. So like my cousins and I, we would take like little trees like this, not necessarily this one, but little trees like this, and bend them over and like put real big rocks on them and then like chuck them at each other. Not like we would chuck them in each other's direction, but we'd use them as a catapult. My cooking videos. I wouldn't take that risk. If something happens, the police department's actually right over there. Parents let their kids wander around this town without parental supervision all the time. I shouldn't say that, but yeah, that building right there, that's where they are. Oh, that's a leaf. And get out of there. And I live over the bridge and that way. I live that way. See my house? My house is right there. Right there's my bedroom window. Come here. I don't want to duck under the trees, honey. Now you could go. So, ow! I walked into a branch. Come here, Keepy Eepy. Actually, no. I'm going to have to go. So, I'm going to talk about spiritual warfare, sort of. Kind of like my routine, which is like bad because I'm giving the enemy details of how I operate. Hey, it's Feeborg, much love. But I wrote up 2 pages, and I got some of my drawings too. I know I only draw stick figures, but to me it means a lot because some of those altars can't talk or read, but at least I could draw a picture. Not sure. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you? Forgive me for the tantrums I throw. You guys saw Cody Pennant's video, right? I posted it up on my pages. Boy, when I get mad, I got mad again like that. I remember a couple of days ago, I got upset too, and I was like, whoa, 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 you lied to me. I gotta stop puckering up my face because I'm like 47. I don't need to encourage the wrinkles. And no, I'm not getting Botox. I'm a little hothead, huh? Woe to you! You lied to me! Come here, Keep. Stop eating things you're not supposed to. Oh, I'm getting an exercise routine. Make sure I sit up straight and get my posture back. I've been hunched over walking like this and sitting like this since 2018. Ah, if that's a spider on me. So I got leg weights and hand weights. I got the hand weights out of my mom's garage, and the leg weights are 10 pounds, but there's somebody online I could work out with. So I'm going to get myself back into shape, and I'm going to retrain myself in martial arts. I really miss the discipline when I did taekwondo, hapkido, weapons training, and tournament sparring. And tournament sparring is different than real fighting, because with tournament sparring, you're doing it for points. So you're not supposed to really hurt the other person. You wind up hurting them, but you're not like trying to kill them. It depends. I guess it depends your opponent. So come on, Keepies. I'm walking her. I'll go do my errand, and then I'll come back and I'll preach from the pulpit. I haven't really eaten today. Just a breakfast. Yesterday I really didn't eat, just a breakfast. Oh, and then for dinner I ate candy. Dots, chocolate covered cherries, but the good kind. The kind with like the cream in them, not really the juice, but the cream. So, I've been having dreams, and in the morning I wake up and I can't remember them. I had a panic attack last night because with one of my drawings, before I take the pulpit, with one of my drawings I thought that maybe it's Russ Dizdar. You guys know the drawing I have with the guy that's got the line across his head, and there's me and 6 others on the raft. I wrote to President Trump, I'm like, is this you? Because I think a president or some big politician gets shot in the head. But then I took a second look at that drawing recently, and while I'm looking at it, I thought, wow, maybe it's Russ Dizdar and not a president. I mean, Russ Dizdar to me is like how my mother says Kennedy dying directly affected her. Well, Russ Dizdar dying directly affects me and my altars. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I should have wrote him more. I should have wrote him more. I should have wrote him more. I should have written him. I still didn't even write him since the Expelling the Darkness conference because I talked to Coach Dave, but then I did put the word out with the SIIU team to Kwame. So, but he just gets so inundated. I can't imagine that he would tell anybody that I am programmed or that I am not helpful. I cannot imagine that Russ Dizdar, as well as Sherry, as well as there's a couple of people from the SIIU team. I met the SIIU team. I love the SIIU team. They remember my name. They know what I look like, whether I'm pudgy with weight or at my worst like Skeletor. So I don't know Tom. I've met Tom many, many times at conferences, but he hasn't answered my emails. I don't know the Through the Black team. I've met Colleen. She's always been such a sweetheart to me. And I like her. She's like a perky person, you know. I wish I had her energy, and she's always positive. And she's really sweet, and she's always extended herself to me. And she's always tried to make me feel comfortable, and I really appreciate that about Colleen from Through the Black. Even though we had a falling out, disagree. No, we didn't even have a falling out. It's just they kicked me off the Through the Black thing because I wasn't responding to their emails, but they were sending it to a different email, and I wasn't getting the message. So, but anyway, that's just stupid stuff. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't impact the relationship we have, and we've all met in person. Same with Sean Carter, we met in person. Which reminds me about something else. But I'm going to save that for when I meet Tom Dunn, because if I ever see Tom Dunn again, he's probably going to want to talk to me. And when he does that, I'm going to say, listen, I've been wanting to tell you this for a while, but you don't respond to me. And more than that, I've been waiting to have the conversation, and it would be a better conversation in person anyway. And don't you worry, this time I'm happy to give you names. Because it'll explain a lot of stuff, but it will definitely embarrass another ministry, and I don't want that to happen publicly. So I would tell him in person privately. But I'd have to see him with my own face because it's a big deal. So for now, I'll just look like the bad guy and let them be mad at me for a misunderstanding. But in the grand scheme of things, I love these people. I really do. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I get upset with them, but deep down inside, I really like these people. There's nobody else I'd rather be with than my ministries and my friends. I really do care about you guys, and when I really do think about everybody that I've met over the past 7 years, regardless if we talk or not, I look back and I have fond memories and good feelings, and I don't hold grudges. It's not like that with me. Hey, it's Dory too. Hey, Jamie. Sorry I didn't pick up your calls, but I was seeing your texting. I was trying to stay on target and run my live stream, but I'm getting tired. I gotta run my errand. Ugh. Maybe I should get one of those 5-hour energy shots. But yes, I've actually all day have been writing, and I know I put up a lot of posts on Facebook flipping out. But listen, that's my diary. That's what I say to Yeshua HaMashiach, to get right with him. Abba has me put my diary up publicly. It's so I cannot run and I cannot hide. I have to face the situation. I have to face myself. I have to be honest with him. And then he opens my door, I walk out it, and that's when I'm dealing with the situation and those people. So that's my diary. He has me put it up. But see, I also need to put it up. I don't want to hide anymore. And I don't want to run anymore. And there are times I still feel like doing that a lot. My diary prevents me from running away and hiding. I want to tell you guys how great Heavenly Abba has treated me. I really do. And that diary is like a good ball and chain. It keeps me put, and it keeps me honest and facing things, and a lot of it's not pretty. But all the ugly stuff that I say in my diary, it's always about me. It's about myself. Oh my goodness, my love to you and Catalina. Kathleen, I really have to stop thinking about you and just pick up the phone and call you. I go through my cell phone. I'm like, boy, I haven't talked to that person in 3 years. Boy, I sure like to talk to that person. I need to just stop and dial the number. Like with Shirley Graham and Linda Boren. There's a few of you. Kathleen, I love you. I pray Abba sends his warring angels down to guard you. I was thinking about Fayette Bush. So anyway, my daily diary mess of ruminations and confessions. Oh man, I come from the dumps. I'm like the Illuminati's science project. That's how this tier of altars feels like I am a science project. So with my diary, I face all of that, and I face myself. And on Judgment Day, I have to stand there along with all of you guys. So I guess my diary is just practice for me to prepare for that day and what I'm going to say to him, because I'm going to have to answer for every utterance I have ever had. And boy, I've had a lot of bad ones often. Mainly, downgrading myself. But sometimes, there are people that get under my skin and I get pissed off. Really, like. Ooh, you're eating stuff you're not supposed to. I'm not giving you treaties because, ew, that's bad. I knew I shouldn't have let you come in here. I knew I should have kept a better eye on you. Don't get down. I won't. Hey, Kathleen, I'm so glad you're here. Lincoln, I love you, Lincoln. Kathleen, I'm going to officially take the pulpit. Officially. I have obeyed his command, Heavenly Abba's commandments and precepts. I have not coveted. I have not lied. I have not bared false witness. There's things that I've had to withhold to protect other people, but that's okay if I look like the bad guy, because I'd rather protect the other people. But once I say the truth, people will be like, oh, wow, which would probably explain a lot of the problems that they're having within their own ministry and within their own ranks of their congregants. But I'm not sure I want to rip down that pillar and have the roof fall down on top of me just yet. I'd rather wait to speak to people face to face, because I feel it is that magnitude. I don't think people realize I met Rastizar April 2015, September 2015. I saw him, stop pulling me. I saw him at Hear the Watchman. He missed August 2018. I was hoping he'd be there. That's when I got ordained, but he wasn't there. Then I saw Russ in May 2019. In 2018, I had been going to Coach Dave Daubenmire and talking at his huddles. I spoke at Coach Dave's 3 or 4 times at his huddles. 3 times? 4 times. 3 of them were videotaped. 1 time was not videotaped. And I loved doing it. I'm very good, and actually I'm getting better at speaking publicly. And the trick to it is if I have my drawings with me, all I have to do is put up a drawing and boom, I know what I'm talking about, and I can keep topic better. I'm pretty much I'm a non-smoker and pretty much a non-vapor. I just use a 3 milligram nicotine to blot on my tongue to offset the nic fits. But I have this other stuff. It's like nicotine strips I put on my tongue, and it totally gets rid of my craving. But I need more of them because I ran out. Or I'm running out. I'm going to run out quick because I use a lot of them. But they work. I don't want that ball and chain. So I guess all in all, you guys can scrutinize me and judge me for my daily diary mess, but Heavenly Abba had me do that. Now, I don't know. Maybe if you try to think outside the box and go, wow, if I was an ex-super soldier, how would I imagine that? What does it look like? Listen to my testimony. Put your feet in my shoes envision it in your head, and that's what it feels like. So I give you my diary because a lot of times, like, I mean, when I came out publicly, I had deleted all my accounts. I had my YouTube account, but I was putting up funny videos, and I wish I didn't delete them now because they're comical. Hey, it's Lincoln. Karen Harrington. If I'm missing anyone, please forgive me. You gotta go. I love you, Jordan. So, what was I saying? I could, like, help you. You listen to my testimony, read my autobiography, and I can put you in my shoes. And then, assuming that you do believe me, and I don't care if you don't, I do care that I answer to Abba and give you my testimony. My autobiography is free. I can email it to you. I don't like the edited version. I want to go back through the rough draft. I'd rather give people the rough draft with all of my mistakes than the edited version, because the edited version takes out all of my alters voices. And I didn't want that to happen, and it's all choppy and icky. It's like bland. I don't like it. I want to edit it myself. Then I want to do the audio recording. Mostly, I want to stop talking about it, get off my ass, and just do it. So if you were a super soldier and you were in these MK Ultra projects in the dumb, and you found out that you were the Rothschild project, and then you had Stockholm Syndrome over Joseph Mengele, the angel of death from World War II, right? Say you go through all of that. I mean, you have a memory where you were a small kid, about 3 years old, because, yeah, I was in Texas at that time, San Antonio. I was 3 years old. I remember taking a blanket or a pillow and dragging it back to the cage with me, and I couldn't wait to get back into that cage because of the brutality that I had just suffered along with the other kids, and most of them didn't make it. So I had Stockholm Syndrome over Joseph Mengele. I mean, he created me, but he was also the same one to put me in these projects, but he was also nice to me. MJ-12 did a rescue mission for us kids in Nelson, Canada. So, if you were in my shoes, tell me, what would you do? I know right off the bat you would be more groomed than I am. You wouldn't be getting on videos with a hat turned backwards in your night clothes. I mean, what would you do? Would you run and hide? And if you would come forward, how would you go about it? Would you not do a diary, or would you do a diary? How would you do it? And then you tell me too, how do you do it without smoking a cigarette or popping open a bottle? How do you do it just purely straight-laced? And you know how those conformist religious fanatics get with that familiar spirit they're afflicted with? You know, those Christians? Yeah, you do it like that and tell me that it's possible. Because sometimes, that to me is just like being locked in a cage, to be around those conformist, fanatical, religious freaks. No, I take back the freaks. Christians. I'm not like that. I cherish everybody to be their own individual that Abba created us to be. We're, we should not all look alike and laugh alike. We should be different. And I should remember my sense of humor more, because I do miss laughing. Well, this is my life. You're welcome to be a part of it, but you cannot change it. You cannot deter me. You cannot stop me. You cannot hinder me. You cannot direct me while I'm on my narrow path with Yeshua. And although I remember plastic Christians that I was exposed to in 2019 loved to handle and influence me and tell me what I could and could not do, No, 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 no. This is my walk. You cannot interfere with what Abba's doing. I'll let you watch, but you have no say in it whatsoever. The worst you'll do is screw me up like you did with my autobiography, and those people know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about my editor. I'm talking about the plastic Christians in 2019. I'm not talking about my editor. You guys may be able to screw me up, but you're not going to be able to stop what Abba's doing. And when you attack me, if you're going around, if there's more plastic Christians like what's happening today, where they go around and they tell people that I'm still programmed and that I'm not helpful, I forgot what I was going to say. Not helpful. Yeah, okay. I lost count after 77 interviews on YouTube. Okay, I lost count. I've been forward since Max Spears was murdered. I've been forward since August 2016. I've done over 77 interviews from August 2016 until current day. They kind of slowed up, but I've done over 77 on interview or on YouTube, Blog Talk, FM radio in the United States as well as the United Kingdom. I spoke at Pillar University. I helped the dean of students and the man who gives the college credits that says whether or not you can be a university. I forget his title. So with him, we set up a course called Who is Jesus? Well, right off the bat, he is the same yesterday as he is today, that he will be tomorrow. That course is being taught at Pillar University, and that I accomplished back in 2016, 2017. The privilege of being on FM radio in the UK with David Lloyd and Peter, that honor and privilege, that happened this year. So Pillar University happened in 2016. We set up the course in 2017. And then I gave that professor, only him, I gave him permission to write a book on me, but I don't have any control over what he's going to write, so he could turn around and totally bash me and belittle me for all I know, or undermine me. I hope not, because I consider him very dear to me. I love you, Safi. Anyway, I would like to speak to him first, and of course this permission would have to be put in writing. Seriously. If he's going to name me in a book, yeah, man, you better sit down and talk to me about it. Get out a pen and paper for an agreement. I like to do things the old-fashioned way and the proper way. Even my grandma, if I borrowed $20 from my gram when I was in my 20s, I got out a piece of paper and I wrote, here's the date, I owe you $20, Holly. And when I paid her back the $20, she gave me the paper. So I'm kind of old-fashioned. I'm not kind of. I am old-fashioned. I was raised by my grandparents. No, I want you to walk more, because the second we stop, I got to get serious and do my errands. No, 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 no. One more time around the park, honey. She's not a spring chicken anymore. I love you guys. Sorry I'm not in my chat room. I'm not trying to be rude. Hey, Hope Bird 4. It's great to see you. I'm like shaking. That's because I need like food. I should have bought more cottage cheese when I was at the store. I didn't see your message, Kathleen, that you deleted. Yeah, right. I am. Gotta stand up straight. Stop like, you know, when my lung was collapsed. Well, actually before that, when I took my ex back, any like shot of me holding my head up and having straight posture, that was shot out of the water. That just blew up. I had no shot at it. Like, he kind of basically knocked the smile off my face and just shredded my soul. And so I just started walking like that, hunched over with my head down, sitting like that, like I've got no right to breathe oxygen. Like he's got more of a right because, you know, he collapsed my lung and I'm the piece of crap, right, because I deserved it. Yeah. All right. So I've forgiven him, forgiven me, gotten past the situation. I talk with a lot of victims that have gone through domestic violence. So if you hear me talking about it, it's because I can talk about me and my life. I can't talk about you, him, them, or they. I can only specifically talk about my life. So if you hear me talking about domestic violence, it's not because I need to shake the dust off my shoes. It's because who I'm speaking to is going through something. So I'm trying to speak to them and console them. Seriously. I. How long was it? 6 months later. 6 months. I was telling him, I'm going to love you for the rest of my life. I'm never going to get over this. To, you know, that severe battered woman syndrome to, was it 6? Yeah, 6 months later. Totally wrapped around somebody else's finger. I have since given up dating altogether. Actually, I don't really date. Before I took my ex back, I was celibate for 8 years. And I was just doing it because there was nobody out there I wanted to be with. And I just didn't want to have anything meaningless, and I wasn't interested. I had dated a guy for 5 years, and I think after the first month, we were never intimate again. I just wasn't, well, he was a bad person anyway. But no, honestly, I spent 8 years just being celibate anyhow and not with anybody. But, you know, once I got Yeshua, I was like, you know, Yeshua, I would like to have a family, but you need to be in the center of that family. Well, you can't make something work if Yeshua's not in the center, and you can't make something work if the other person is not fully wanting to be there and with you and with Yeshua. So, anyway, I think for being an ex-super soldier, how I'm handling it publicly is pretty darn good. I show you through my whole recovery. That's the other thing. Kathy O'Brien, PTSD, A Time to Heal. I love Kathy O'Brien. I'd love to do a broadcast with her, but I probably alienated everybody I know, so they'll never set foot on a platform with me, which sucks, because I like to broadcast, and sometimes I really, well, sometimes, all the time, I like to have someone there with me to go back and forth. Not necessarily debating, but definitely to like an interesting conversation to stimulate our minds. Hey, Mama-san won. I like that. Mama-san. Mama-san. I got to get on Telegram. But I had an issue because it wanted my phone number. My one friend has started placing bets. Well, Holly, you've had this cell number for 2-3 months. Are you changing it? Don't forget to tell me when you do. Yeah, disposable cell phone numbers. So I think I have you down so that way you can't see. I think I look pretty in this shirt. I love the sleeves. I like that antique look. Vintage. Vintage. You know, I like the long sleeves, like the cuffs that are really long around the wrist. So I miss, like, I'm always in my pajamas. Hey, Kathleen, I got your text. If you're still here, Kathleen, I got it. Thank you, sweetheart. We's good, baby. I'm glad to hear that, Mama Son. So, but yeah, so Kathy O'Brien, as well as many other people, say when you deprogram, be private about it, because you never know if you're telling the very abusers that abused you that you're deprogramming what you know, what you remember, and then they can definitely set up stumbling blocks in your recovery to hinder that process. Please keep me invisible to my enemy in Yeshua's name. Heavenly Abba, please take your sword and stab it between me, yours, and my enemy. Please take your sword and stab it between me and my enemies, and please do not let them come past your sword. Please do not lift your hand from me, keeper and saver. Please hold my household tightly in your hands in Yeshua's name, Selah. So, I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye. That's why I don't want to do my errand. You know, I could always postpone my errand, do my broadcast first, and then go take care of my errands, and then do my phone calls. What do I want to do? Heavenly Abba, can you decide what I'm going to do? I'm definitely wanting a cigarette. Actually, no, I don't want a cigarette. I want the detox. I love the pain. But then again, I'm the idiot that got myself addicted. So I'm going to have to get myself unaddicted, which my problem is staying quit. I got no problem quitting. My problem is staying quit from the vaping and the cigs, both of them, because I quit for 3 or 4 days, go back. So there was a day in there that was rough, man. It was really rough. But I've been holding strong. And another thing is I think I can take the pulpit because I don't covet. So no masturbation. I'm celibate. I'm in prayer and fasting because Abaddon's been kicking my ass, serving it to me on a silver platter with the dragon standing on the seashore watching. So, you know, I gave up cigarettes and vaping. I told Abba I would not go back to cigarettes, but I would still vape, and vaping is not as bad for you as smoking cigarettes, and that is fact. No arguments. I don't want to hear what anybody else has to say because I've already been down all those avenues, and my mind is set on what it's set on. And yes, I've heard it all. I'm 47. I come from the dumbs. I'm a science project of the Illuminati. Trust me, I've heard it all. Probably experienced most of it too. You can play with that, Keep, but not drinking alcohol. I never did do drugs. I don't take prescriptions beyond my asthma rescue inhaler. Like for panic and anxiety attacks, I use Dramamine, as a matter of fact, because there's really no side effects, and or my red Bali kratom. I have been trying to curb my sailor's mouth so I don't make truck drivers blush. What else have I been doing right? I've been doing a lot of things right. Holding up my word. I gave God promises before, so fulfilling my promise to Him. Because if I say, hey, God, I won't smoke cigarettes, I'll only vape because I know vaping is not as bad for you as smoking cigarettes. And He goes, okay, Hal, I will accept that from you, but, you know, ultimately, you need to get rid of the addiction because the addiction is a demon. So ultimately, you have to get rid of it. So based on that understanding, he and I made him that promise. Well, smoking cigarettes is going back on that. So that's a sin. Slacking off on a promise you gave him, you can't do that. Well, I've been doing these things right, so I do feel that I am qualified to stand at the pulpit officially and preach. I don't think I'm going to be running open panels ever again because I want control over what happens. You know, I give people the benefit of thinking they're sane and it's just, or respectful or thoughtful or considerate, and then it turns out that they're not. They have their own agenda. See, I don't like FringeRadioNetwork.com is my platform. Like, that's where Oh boy, that's another thing. I'm going to be broadcasting from there once a week. If I make proper videos on YouTube for my ministry, I'll have them uploaded on fringeradionetwork.com. But we'll see how they are on here first before I bother there. But like HTV really isn't, I don't see HTV as like a ministry. I don't see HTV as a platform. I never did. For to have a ministry and to have a platform, I mean, that was always somebody else's. That was always somebody else's to have that I looked up to. You know, Coach has a ministry. Brooke has a ministry. I was like, nah, I just got HTV. It's just my diary. No, I'm underestimating myself and selling myself short. Hey, it's Huntress. Huntress has a ministry. But no, now I'm taking the pulpit. No, I do have a ministry. And I don't know, I never just saw, I was always looking up at people. You know, it's somebody else who has a platform. It's not me. But some of my support system has to like rein me in sometimes, and they have to have awkward conversations with me. And honestly, I'm embarrassed to even repeat them because I feel awkward now because it's all awkward. But sometimes they have to have some conversations with me and say, no, Holly, actually, the way you are viewed by the outside world is like this, and that. And you need to be aware of that because I think you're underestimating yourself. But then again, I've also had people belittle me. I don't have a lot of happy moments. So when I do, I'm the first one to crack open a champagne bottle and bring you guys with me. Um, light up a blunt. I love shotties. So actually, no, just give me the plant, the sativa plant, haze, and just let me eat it from the plant itself. Don't cook it in the oven because you burn it, you kill it. It does nothing for me. Just give me the plant and let me eat it. I'll smoke it for breakthrough pain. I'll smoke it for like immediate relief for when I'm vomiting and I need it to stop like that. Well, if you're vomiting, you can't hold anything down now, can you? So I wouldn't be able to eat it. Forgot what I was saying where I ran off onto another tangent. Aha! I got it. Okay, now I can decide whether I'm going to do my appointment now or later. I don't go, no ministries. I'm taking my pulpit Huntress. You don't have to be there because it's like a repeat for you, but I never wanted to take a title, and I don't want to take a title. However, in Russ's passing, I'm going to step up to the plate. Technically, I am an ordained minister, and yes, I do live according to the Holy Bible. I'm doing my best to be a walking, breathing, living Holy Bible. Um, by all means, I've been eating better, taking care of my body. That's abiding by commandments as well as Yud-Hey Vav-Hey's precepts. Keeping my house and car clean, keeping with my Bible studies, and I had that breakthrough. Come on, Keep. So when I'm highly triggered and heavily targeted, I can still read his living logos and make sense of it. And so anyway, this is a ministry. Basically, I'm going to take the pulpit and preach from it. You know, I told that famous musician dude, listen, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize me being able to preach from the pulpit. Now, I, I like you, but I want the ability to preach from the pulpit more than I want you. And he did do some bad things, but I forgive everything and I'm happily moved on by now. Seriously. But so now I see why Abba was so stern with me about keeping the commandments especially keeping the Sabbath holy, because I believe we get a second Exodus when he goes to gather us for the seventh trumpet, and the rest will be resurrected in the twinkling of an eye, and it'll feel like we're in the air because the Holy Spirit will be gathering us here on earth, and we will walk and be gathered to go meet him. The land will be kept level, so even the maimed and crippled who are coming with us will not stumble along the way. You know, when I used to throw a party, I'd call up the ringleader and I'd say, yo, go get the boys. I'm throwing a party. Bring them here. So my friend would go walk around the block. He'd see a couple of the boys face to face and say, yo, we're going up to Hans. She's throwing a party this weekend. Grab your camping gear because you know we're not coming home tonight. Oh, by the way, can I borrow your cell phone? All right. Dink, 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 dink. Hey, yeah, Holly's throwing a party. Grab everybody. Come meet us. Or if you can't come meet us, just go directly there. Her address is da-da-da-da, Long Valley, New Jersey. Right? Now that's being gathered. We're not floating off in the air somewhere. And Yeshua HaMashiach has to reign for 1,000 years to fulfill his promises to who he's given, that, like Abraham. I'm still studying my Bible, but I hear that he's given covenants to other people. So I'm still educating myself on that. But I know Abraham is definitely one. I think Noah might be another. He made a promise. He did not give Noah laws. He only gave Moses laws. But he promised Moses no more floods, hence the rainbow. So, yeah, I think right now I'm definitely qualified, physically in this life and spiritually, to take the pulpit. I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak. I see wolves in sheep's clothing all the time preaching from pulpits, and it's very disheartening and discouraging. I don't want to see that anymore. So, yes, on a technicality, I will take the title of I am your ordained minister, and this is a ministry. I'm preaching about Yeshua HaMashiach. I am actually a sheep in sheep's clothing, and more sheeps in sheep's clothing need to be preaching from the pulpit. I've had enough of these wolves and infiltrators, fake Christians, just fake victims, just no more. So I didn't mean to alienate you, Huntress, with the whole ministry thing, but I wanted the opportunity to explain myself. I don't want you to go away, Huntress. I just want you to know that I'm tired of it. I'm actually, no, you know what's happening is I'm fulfilling my calling from Heavenly Abba. I always wanted to be a part of the Freedom Deliverance Ministry. I should have written to Russ Dizdar more often, but sometimes he didn't answer, and sometimes I should have just written to him more often. By the way, Russ Dizdar did know about Project Untrigger. Before Russ passed, I sent him my broadcast that I did on FringeRadioNetwork.com. I sent him a couple of links and one being to Project Untrigger. And I said, you know, Russ, I'm broadcasting from Fringe Radio Network. I worked really hard for this. It was 2 years in the making. And here's my video. It's just me, but this is where I've gotten. So you met me April 2015. Well, look at this. You know, what was it? April 2020. 5 years later, I meet you in April 2015, and 5 years later, I'm standing on my own 2 feet broadcasting from internet radio, FringeRadioNetwork.com. Wow, I'll tell you what, that blew my mind. I felt like I was given the keys of the kingdom. I'm still so very much humbled. I'm so grateful to Johnny. He makes me sound like $1,000,000. I told Johnny, I'm like, make me sound sexy and sultry. It's just, I have to like relax myself when I talk. I'm always like strange, so I'm like, I'm straining to talk. If I just relax and talk normally, I sound a lot better. All right. Sorry. You have healed enormously just in a few years. Oh, Huntress, I'm humbled. I'm humbled, Huntress. Yeah, I'm taking authority, Huntress, is what's happening. I am taking authority, mother lover. Mother lover. Ooh, see, I got off with that. I'm allowed to say that. Mother lover, none of those words are curse words. Ha! You wrongly mother lover. You're wrong. We'll just stick to rotten, foul, nasty, filthy, unclean mutts. There's, hey, Brian, how are you? CT 1600. What you guys doing? It's great to see you. It's great to see you. There was somebody on Twitter trying to tell me I was making fun of Russ or belittling Russ. Are you kidding me? Hell no. The best day of my life was when Russ Dizdar baptized me. I had a choice between driving out to Hyman, Pennsylvania with Paul Begley for him to ordain me under the last super blood red moon of the Tetrad, or going to Allentown, Pennsylvania and being baptized by Russ Dizdar. I went to Russ Dizdar because Russ Dizdar spoke about super soldiers. Mainly the ones he's talking about are like the Masons, the cults, and the covens. But then again, you get high up in the Illuminati, and they go beyond their chosen ones, and they actually create, because they've got so much money, they actually create these super soldiers in test tubes. So that was the extent to which I was exposed to all of this. And yes, it feels surreal to me. It boggles my mind. All the time I'm like, this can't be my life. But then again, I am not denying it. I'm not denying that Yeshua is real. He is. And you know, just today I was crying about my stepdad and his passing. And a couple of people were trying to console me. Well, it was Yeshua trying to console me and someone else on the phone that tried to console me. I was down on my knees, actually. And it was about my stepdad. And Abba, well, my friend was talking to me on the phone, and I was down on my knees crying in in the door frame of the bathroom and kitchen. Don't let me forget. Something between me and my stepdad. I believe that Yeshua is real. And I know that, no, let me start again. I know that Yeshua HaMashiach's real. I know the Holy Spirit, the Holy Bible, and Yud He Vav He, he's real. I know that. And because I know that, I do believe that my prayer got to my stepdad, even though my stepdad is deceased. I do truly believe that Yeshua HaMashiach honored me and let me cross over to see my stepdad, because my stepdad did not know that I had called him 6 weeks before his passing. Worse than that, I wanted to call him for his very last birthday, and I was such a cowardice. I let those stupid plastic Christians talk louder than me. And Abba was telling me, Holly, I'm not going to make you want to call out to your parents. I'm going to make you, he goes, I'm not going to make you want to call out to your parents. It's not going to be me that makes you want to call out to your parents. Holly, you're going to want to call your parents on your own. And I know why. I had that sixth sense, guys. I will always live on my own. Those plastic Christians handled me so much so that they ruined, they really ruined everything going on in my life. Abba showed me in a dream that their money was black and it had black spotches on it. I just needed to know the gift of interpretation. But at that point, they were bulldozing me anyway, so it didn't matter what I said. They never listened. And I just assumed because they were Christians that they knew best, because they were Christians for 30 years. And even the ones that for 5 years, none of them. I'm always living on my own. That way nobody can accept money to handle me. That way the kingdom of darkness cannot do spiritual warfare to manipulate so spiritual attacks manifest in that person, then, you know, ruins what I have going on in my life, I'll stay by myself. And if I stay by myself, I don't have that many dreams because I'm by myself. If I start hanging out with you, I will start having dreams about you. So I get close with people, but I always keep a safe enough distance because I don't want to see everything, you know? So I just live alone and secluded. It's easier anyway. I don't have the hubbub and the hassle. And I know at times it can be lonely, and I am alone. It passes rather quickly. And in the end, I'm always happy. Come on, Keith. I'm always happy that when I go to sleep, it's my fur babies and my Bible next to me. Come here, don't pull. And when I wake up, it's always my fur babies and my Bible next to me. And oh, jeez. I should have put this as like one of the first videos to my ministry, but no, I'm going to actually, yeah, they were awful. Hugs right back to you, CT 1600. Yeshua blessings to you and your loved ones. And I pray for James Sarsma. And those 3 people. No. I pray for James Sarsma and Zeus. He popped into my head. Come here, Kate. Now a bunch of people are popping in my head and to say hello to. Hey, Jacqueline, it's great to see you. All right, guys. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm probably gonna run my errand. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to preach from the pulpit. And I'm gonna continue to preach from the pulpit. I am officially starting my ministry. I know you guys have told me I've had one and I've probably played it down, but right now, Abba has told me, I think 2 months ago, training wheels off, and Abba told me, take me with you south. I want to go south for the winter too, guys. Russ Dizdar passed away. It's time to step up to the plate. I know I'm no Russ Dizdar, but boy, I sure would love to learn what he learned and do what he did. And yes, I know looking at a crime scene is god awful and gruesome, but if my spiritual gifts could help somebody, then yeah, I will do what I need to do, and their families be brought justice, or better yet, to use those spiritual gifts to bring a kidnapped kid or an adult back home. I think it's possible. I believe in miracles. Abba shown me other things before. I don't see why he wouldn't show me stuff like that. All I have to do is ask him, and the worst he could say is, I want the gift of healing hands, but I also have to prepare myself to even be able to carry that responsibility. If I want to have the gift of healing, it's as simple as that. So I'm going to be spending this time still being a non-smoker, non-vaping, and going through it. I've got the bulk of the details, and I'm going to stay that way. Oh, and I'm going to stay celibate. I was never into anyway, but and I was never really into coveting anyhow. So that whole thing is going to be covered. And like I said, I've been trying to eat better, and I got weights now. So I'm turning over a new leaf, and I hope to get out of this rut because I've been at rock bottom for a long time. It's still wearing on me, and I am going to climb out, but I'm going to put my feet first. So when I climb out a rock bottom and I get going so fast, crawling out of that big bottomless pit, that when I bust through the surface of the earth, that my feet come out, my feet and fists come out first. So it's like Superman and just bust through. knock people out that are trying to stand over the hole, trying to keep me locked in that bottomless pit, and knock them all out. But seriously, yeah, so I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm going to do it now, which I've been wanting to do anyhow. But now I just wish I had reached out to Russ more, and I read because I want to know blah, 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 blah. I want to go to the library. I know I have to update my library card, but I also want to go there and say, listen, I need translated in English, and I need a few other books from you. Order them for me. But in Yeshua's name, somebody performed a miracle on me. And just take out all that pain, the allergic reaction, and the lack of air. Took it all out in Yeshua's name. He did that. And I have felt that. I believe in those miracles. I believe in that with every part of my being. And yes, I've actually experienced it too. So I don't see why these spiritual gifts that I believe I have from him, why they can't be put to use. When I said, Abba, you know, my mom always kind of curses if my sister's going to be in a car accident and die. And I took a knee before Heavenly Abba, and one night I said to him, Heavenly Abba, if I have spiritual gifts, and what my mom, this premonition, if that's what you want to call it, she's speaking death. If that's true, and my sister gets in a car accident, well, right here and now, I pray, I give you, I think I have psychic abilities, please take it away and spare my sister's life. Did happen. My sister's life was spared. Life was spared. Can't stay. Hit the like and oh, thanks, Jacqueline, sweetheart. See you later, Jamie. From the pulpit, that's going to be like 2 hours long. But that's okay. I also am going to put together a video for Rest is Dark. That's northeast. Well, actually, they're circling around. Soon they'll head south. I noticed they always fly in a couple of circles and then take off. The geese. So, I can't believe he's dead. Excuse my language. I can't believe I just said that. That was a total slip. There's nobody like him. He's got a ton of videos up, guys, on Shadow the Darkness. I went through his training and I downloaded his videos, but I want to go through his entire website and download everything I can possibly get my hands on. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's doing what, who's taking control of what their intentions are. I have got no idea, but I do know that I'm going to spend a lot of time tomorrow while I'm listening to Plain Flyer 21 do Bible studies. I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to downloading Rustistar's videos on shadowdarkness.net. I'm going to get all of them, as many as possible, downloaded. And I would like to see you guys do the same thing because, again, nothing is for certain. I don't know what's going to happen, but all I know is I don't want to be locked out of the possibility of always having access to his materials. Seriously, I study from him. He's my mentor. My mentor. I should have called him more often. I should have emailed him more often. I should have, woulda, coulda. I hate this part about people dying. I hate it. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Ah! And why didn't I see it in my dreams? Or did I see it in my dreams? But Abaddon was attacking me that night, so I can't remember. And that's why Abaddon probably attacked, was so that I couldn't see it in my dreams. I could have been there in the spirit. I could have reached out and touched him. I could have been praying more fiercely for him. But no, I gotta be attacked by Abaddon in the meantime and distracted with that nonsense. You can tell it's a spiritual attack because it manifested. I totally whacked my eye in the corner of the bathroom door right there. I bent over to get my cat food out of the plastic bin that I keep it in. And then when I put the plastic cup back in the bin, I stood up to turn to go out the door, but I totally was a klutz and banged my head in the door. And I have fibromyalgia and I'm a klutz anyway. I try to walk through the opening of the door and I end up like this. I could show you. I aim for there. But then in the mornings I wake up and my balance, I don't know. I'm just a klutz. I aim for there, but I end up going here. I can't tell you how many times I broke my toes when I had my place in Somerville. The door frames were metal. Oh my goodness. Oh, I remember breaking my toes on 2 separate occasions. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. It hurt so bad. I was like, I can't breathe. I'm going to pass out. It just hurt so damn bad. Lorena in Chicago. Oh, I pray for you and I pray against your fibromyalgia. It's the worst. I'm always bumping my head. And now, I mean, like, I miss having railing in my shower. I really do. Because that shower curtain and shower rod, unless the shower rod itself is screwed into the wall and the rod itself is strong and sturdy and metal and not moving, I'm in trouble. Like, but I always used to have like a railing on the side and then a railing in front. And I don't have that anymore. And I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I get the extreme, I get the muscle weakness and then as well as the stiffness. So if you do slip, you're so stiff you can't regain your balance because you don't have reflex to stop your fall or whatnot. Or the muscle weakness, so you're going downstairs and your muscles just say, yeah, you're going to go on your ass or you're going to go head first. And I've gone head first down a spiral staircase before, and oh boy, not funny. Right. Oh no, I don't like those chairs. But that was probably in about 2004 when I had that. Or no, 2006. I can't remember when I had it. But no, I'm good now. My fingers are straight. That was a long time ago that I had that. But I always liked the railing. So anyway, I'm going to get going because I really do have to go. I want to run my errand, come back. I have 2 pages written up about spiritual warfare, where to begin, what to do, what's it like day in and day out, what to do with altars. So I'm going to take the pulpit. I'm going to talk about Yeshua, deprogramming, spiritual warfare, and I'm standing up to the plate. And so I do hope that you come back and join me in about an hour and a half. And I'll probably be talking for 2 hours then. But I plan to hit it hard because I'm not staying at home. I want to be a heavy hitter for Yeshua HaMashiach. There was a guy, I met him in Newark. He had like all these Newark slogans, and I used to have his t-shirts. And he even gave me a couple himself. But there was one t-shirt, I swiped it from someone. Actually, it was given to me, but I would have stolen it anyway. It said, heavy hitter, hit it hard or stay home, Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, heavy hitter. Hit it hard or stay home. Well, I don't want to stay home, so I plan on hitting it hard. I want to be a heavy hitter for Yeshua HaMashiach. I want to be like, my brother in Christ, Russ Dizdar, my mentor, who darkness would scream in fear his name. Well, when I bump into Beelzebub, Thoth, and Osiris, I want them to go, that's Holly Baglio. That's Heavenly Abba. Heavenly Abba's following this one. When we were possessing her and she turned to Heavenly Abba himself expelled us from Holly, expelled us from her. And now here she is again. That's that Holly Baglio. Oh no, we don't want any part of Holly Baglio because we know we know Yud Vav Hey himself is right behind her. We're getting out of here before Holly gets here. That's what I want the kingdom of darkness to scream. All those powers, principalities, aliens, fallen angels, entities, filthy, nasty, foul, unclean spirits and beings, the jinn, succubus, incubus, all of it. Yes, I want Beelzebub, Thoth, and Osiris to go, oh no, I want no part of that Holly Baglio. I remember March 2015 when Heavenly Abba showed up and expelled us from her. That was not fun. Heavenly Abba followed this one. Oh no, we're staying away from Holly. That's what I want the darkness to scream. And yes, I always pray, Heavenly Abba, please go before me, during me, and after me. Please go before my trip and pave a way. Please go during my trip and with me and be here during the whole thing and with me. And then please go after me to protect me from behind, from the retaliation, and just to protect me in Yeshua's name. So, yes, Abba goes before me, during me, and after me all the time. All right, and on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me for an hour and 18 minutes. And I didn't even take the pulpit. But like I said, I have notes written down. So I hope I did a good job writing the notes. I can tell you it'll be about, stumbling blocks, spiritual warfare, closing doom and doors, what I pray, just the typical routine, a place for people to begin. I have my drawings. So I will be sharing them with you with the tick. You guys heard about that. You guys heard about Abaddon. And you guys heard about Abaddon and the dragon. That's Abaddon. This is a third entity, the sun. Well, we're going to bind and cast all that stuff down so that Yeshua HaMashiach can reveal himself to you as he has done to me. And then I hope that you guys make your gestures to him. Do you know that this was the first drawing I ever made, Yeshua? These are ribbons, this and that. It's a ribbon. But I was falling to pieces in deprogramming. I couldn't even talk, and it got to a point that sentences broke down to words. The words would break down to a letter. So I was lucky that I could even write these letters, YH, VH, or WH at the time. And then I was cutting things out of magazines and gluing them onto paper. That's how much I broke down. I could read it, but I couldn't say it. I broke down. So, but this was the first drawing I made. It was during December. So I took bows from gifts and I put them on the paper and I tried to draw for him and give him my gestures. But we are after him. We pray in his name, and only his name stops spiritual attacks. But first you have to surrender all parts of you, from your feet to your hands, to your noggin, to your nut. Okay, now I'm mixing all of that up. because I had it in a certain order and now I'm mixing it up. Let me go back. That's the demon. That's the demon. Okay. So, for you guys, what I'm going to try to do from HTV Ministries, Holly Television Ministry, I'm going to get you guys to remember, to know that Heavenly Abba that you guys have a song and dance for Heavenly Abba. We all have a song and dance for him. It's our free will as to whether or not we want to have a song and dance with him, and whether or not we actually want to do our song and dance. I have a song and dance for him. Yudhe Vavhe reminded me that I have one. So now I am here to remind you that you have a song and dance with Heavenly Abba. If you care to learn what it is, just ask him, Heavenly Abba, who am I in you? Do I have a song and dance? What is it? Some people say it's a calling. Abba says it's a song and dance. I don't know. I say it's a song and dance. It's a calling, song and dance. Just pick up the phone. It's Abba. If you bumped into me, maybe Heavenly Abba is trying to reach out to you, and that's why you're here. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with him who's trying to get in touch with you. And I'm just the sign that he's using to try to get through to your head. He wants to reach out to you. Like, he wants to talk to you. He wants a two-way relationship with you. He wants to give you his spiritual gifts. He wants to give you his blessings. He wants to make you a new creature in him. And your whole life be a new creation. He wants to give you the quality life he planned for you and not what this world wants to make of you. And maybe you bumped into me because it's got nothing to do with me and everything to do with the fact he's trying to reach out to you. He wants you. He loves you. And really, you do need him. So come seek him out with me. Separate but together. We'll do it at the same time, but you go your way, I'll go my way. See you when see you when you find them. No, I'm kidding. Oh, there's one thing that I wanted to say, getting back to Kathy O'Brien. She says, this process of deprogramming to keep it private, because you don't want to deprogram and let the predators know that you know. And you never know when you're talking to the bad guy or who. Trust is a big thing too. But see, I took that whole process of deprogramming and I put it up publicly since 2014, even when I could barely talk. So I fell under a lot of scrutiny. There's trolls and haters out there that try to say that I'm still programmed. No, I'm not. I am not under MK Ultra programming. I am not an active super soldier. But if you want, it'll take me all of 2 minutes to go back active. It would not be any trouble at all. Seriously. I could just ding, ding. Yes, this is Holly. I'm coming back. All right, open the portal. Let's go. Let's rock, yo. No, seriously, I could go back active, but I'm not. And second to that, and still just as paramount to that, is I am not around anybody or person that can handle me or possibly be paid to handle me. No one is in direct control or direct contact with the Baglio household. There is an attorney and Yeshua HaMashiach that stands between you and me at all times. At all times. There is no way for you to accept money to handle me like I'm suspect to those other plastic Christians. There's no way for you to influence me. There's no way for you to sway my opinion. There's no way for you to shut me up. Because there is Yeshua and my attorney standing between you and me at all times. So for people like those trolls and haters, and you saw my community tab, the crap I'm going through within the Christian community now. Listen, guys, that UFO and super soldier communities, I thought they were cutthroat. Oh, man. It's even worse in the Christian community. You know why? Because they're hiding behind Yeshua HaMashiach's name for their personal evil bidding. Their personal bidding. Whether it's good or bad, who cares? It's still their own personal bidding. You see what I go through, and that's the Christian community. And then the Christians themselves go, oh, but there's division. Yeah, you got wolves in sheep's clothing. And none of you are calling that wolf in sheep's clothing out. Instead, all you're doing is promoting it and promoting it. So there was something else I was going to say, and I totally drew a blank. Totally drew a blank. Anyway, Russ Dizdar trained me. He was my mentor. He baptized me. I had a friendship with Russ Dizdar, as well as he and the SIIU team was the very first ministry to deprogram me. Ekbal, get out of here in Yeshua's name. Heavenly Abba, send down your warring angels and please escort that person off my property. And when you do, slam them back in their body and let them know it was for me in Yeshua's name. Selah. No, I forget what I was saying to you. I saw something out of the corner of my eye and I wanted to pray about it. So Russ was my mentor. He's deceased. I am prepared to preach from the pulpit, and Heavenly Abba a couple months ago just said to me, I even ran a video so I can prove it. Abba said to me, training wheels off. And I'm like, training wheels off? What? First of all, no, put them back on. And secondly, where did this come from out of the blue? Training wheels off. Now I know. It's because Russ passed and because he's calling me to come forward to the plate. I'm ready. And that's what I'm going to do, is come forward to the plate with my ministry. I'm going to get my testimony out there so much, people are going to get sick and tired of hearing the name Holly Baglio. I'm going to be all over internet radio, fringeradionetwork.com. I'm going to be all over YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Instagram's a pain in the ass. I'm going to put my testimony out there. I'm going to carry Yeshua HaMashiach's testimony, and I pray to carry it consistently, just as the other prophets and people in the Holy Bible, the way they carried it consistently through 1,500 years of them writing it. I pray to consistently carry his gospel. I believe we're in tribulation, and he built me for this time. I have been waiting for this period of time my whole life, and there's only a couple, but there's a couple of you I met. There's a couple of you that feel the same way I do, where, we rushed through every day of our life. Not that we didn't cherish it, but we rushed and rushed and rushed just to get this to this point in time. And now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, I can sit back and relax. This is the time I was built for. I always had this feeling that I would see Yeshua HaMashiach return with my own two eyes. I always had that feeling through my whole life, and here we are. I believe this is the start of tribulation. We're in the Hebrew calendar of 5,782. Also, I do not believe in the books of the Apocrypha. Yes, I did dive into it. It was kind of like a fantasy fairy tale. Also, do not trust the Apocrypha about the Song of the Three Holy Children. I don't know what that is. We should only be focused on the songs and prayers that Yeshua HaMashiach gives to us. Heavenly Abba taught us how to pray. He taught us, Heavenly Abba, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, and please forgive us our sins as we forgive those who have sinned against us. Please do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For the power and glory and kingdom thine forever and ever. Yud Hey Vav Hey, bless Yud Hey Vav Hey. Yud Hey Vav Hey, bless Yeshua HaMashiach. Yud Hey Vav Hey, bless Holy Spirit. Yud Hey Vav Hey, bless everyone and everything and the kingdom of heaven and everything that's inside of his love. And I pray hardest for everyone and everything outside of his love. I pray they turn from their wicked ways and get right with him. Heavenly Abba also taught us ordained priests or ministers or however you put it, God gave Moses the instructions to give to Aaron on how to pray for the Israelites. So God gave us, keep, come here. So God gave us Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. I'm trying to remember that prayer by heart, and I don't know it by heart, but it's something to the effect of, the Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. The Lord shine his face upon you, and the Lord put his countenance upon you. And I got to remember the rest of the prayer. So we should remember that. Also, do you know what Abba told us? Abba told us the Song of Moses. Abba did not tell us the song of the three holy children. No, he did not. He did talk of the three children. Take out that word holy, because holy is placing them up like high like Jesus. And no, 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 you don't do that. Maybe hold them in esteem like Elijah, but you don't hold them in the same esteem you do Yeshua. Only Yeshua HaMashiach should be held in a place of exalt. So in the Apocrypha, the three holy children, it's really interesting. It should give you great ideas on how to worship and praise Heavenly Abba, but do not take it like fact. Okay? Now the Song of Moses is something that you should take as fact and pay attention to. Okay? But the Song of the Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha, just take that as a good idea, but don't. What I'm saying is, do pay mind to the Song of Moses that Abba gave us, but don't pay too much mind to other people's song, because that's them exalting God. I would not exalt those people's words. Just like if you, like the apostles, they wrote their gospels or their testimony. Well, the problem with people having the apostles' testimonies and the apostles' gospel or accounts is that people will start worshiping the apostles and holding the apostles in this high position of exalt, putting the apostles themselves on a pedestal, which in turn is putting them on the same level as Jesus. So that's an absolute no, no, no. We want to be holy like, but none of us are ever going to be. Only Jesus is holy. Okay? We strive for holy. We pray for the blood of the Lamb so that we can be deemed holy and get our prayers to Heavenly Abba in his throne room. But the only one and thing I would call holy is Yud Hey Vav Hey, Yeshua, and the Holy Spirit. I know that I have an altar that I call Holy Holly, but when I was growing up in Liberty Corner School on the school bus, all the older boys would always go, "There's Holy Holly." And yes, I was a good kid growing up. I was a good kid. It wasn't until I was in my 20s and I was working for AT&T that all hell started breaking loose. I dated this guy named John, and it all went downhill from there. Sadly, it was, anyway, never mind. And not from the Holy Bond. But anyway, where was I? Don't remember. That's right, getting ready to go do my errands. So, yeah. Pay attention to the prayers that the prayer that Abba gave us to pray for ourselves. Pay attention to the prayer. Ooh, to the prayer. My laundry's hanging up and you've been looking at it. I'm so embarrassed now. Oh my God, no. Anyway, my undergarments. So, where I get all my muscle from. Um, uh, sorry about that. Please excuse me. I would pay attention to the Song of Moses and what Abba gives us directly. If you hear someone else praising and worshiping Yud Hey Vav Hey, take what they're saying as an idea, but you yourself should go to Abba and say, Abba, I worship you because I heard you. I see that you have marvelous works. You are magnificent. You are incredible. You make me feel on top of this world. Sometimes, you make me feel special, and I exalt you for your marvelous works. But if you're going to go to the Apocrypha and look at the song of the three holy children, and they're referring to the three people that were in the furnace in Daniel chapter 2, and I think Daniel chapter 3, but anyway, the problem with plastic Christians is they will take the song of the three holy children and memorize it like it is the be all end all, that when they're served up to Satan, or when they're sitting in a prison, or when they're sitting in a FEMA camp, they're going to sing this song and the walls are just going to break down before them and they're going to walk out scot-free. No, okay? You are not to exalt another man's words. If you want to listen to the Song of the Three Holy Children to get an idea of how to worship Abba, like to use what they said as an example so that you can turn around and in your own voice and in your own tongue worship and praise him, then absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. In the Bible, we have the Song of Moses. I would say definitely pay attention to that and do a Bible study on it. But do you want to memorize it? If you can, sure. I can't memorize something that big. But I think what would be more important would be to worship and praise Yud Hey Vav Hey in my own voice, in my own tongue at that time. Yes, I have prayers that I repeat, but it's a foundation for me to start. So I have a foundation to start praying. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I also have a foundation of prayers that I can start for you guys, which is Numbers 6, 24 through 36. The Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, put his countenance upon you, shine his face to you. But then from there I can say, okay, well, so-and-so needs help financially. I pray, blah, blah, blah. Or my other friend, they need help in their health. So I pray over their organs. I pray over their brainwaves. I pray over their heart, their blood, their capillaries, their lungs, in Yeshua's name. So, but it's a start, and it's acceptable to Yeshua HaMashiach. But he says not to chant. So I actually got to go too. I've been yipping and yapping, and I really got to get going. Hey, WP, it's great to see you. Lorena in Chicago, welcome. Everybody, it was great to hang out with you. I'm sending you guys hugs. Aaron, CT, 1600, Jamie, Jacqueline, Mama San one. Lincoln, I think I called you today, Lincoln. At least I meant to. Brian Griffin, it's always a pleasure to see you. If you guys want a wrench, let me know. I'll give you one. But if I give you a wrench, you got to sling it. I want people that are going to sling my wrench. That came out all wrong. I didn't mean it like that, but that you're going to actually operate my chat room and you're not going to let these trolls come in. So to an extent, you would have to be familiar with me and long time, sort of kind of to actually see when these trolls come in, because they do slither in, and sometimes, yes, they do slither past me. But I take everybody at face value. I take them for what they tell me. I don't, like right off the bat, I don't think people have beguile. I think that you're just being genuine and honest with me, and that leaves me open and vulnerable for people to attack and take advantage of me. But I'd rather be overly nice than have a cold rock heart. Hey, Amelia, I do plan on contacting you. As you can see, I'm procrastinating. We'll definitely have to talk, Amelia. Hopebird44, it's great to see you, sweetheart. Kathleen, my love to you, and Catalina. If I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry. Karen Harrington, Jordan, Dory Do, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeshua, I love you. Hey, Mr. Burns. Let's see, I'm scrolling, that's why I'm pacing. You guys are probably like, what is she doing? Trying to look for names. Viborg, not sure. Cody. Christine. Karen Harrington. If I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry. All right, I'm going. I'm going because I got to preach from the pulpit still, okay? Why are you retracting your messages, WP? I'll take your wrench away. Why'd I give you one? No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. I'm doing the best I can to try to not lash out. My heart hurts between the trolls attacking me. Then you have wolves in sheep's clothing pretending to be Christians. They're attacking me. I'm doing pretty good. You see my posts, even on Facebook. No curse words. I'm articulating myself. I'm not saying anything in hatred or anything like that. I'm just being honest, and it hurts. It sucks. I've cried, and I hope they're happy. Now they get to answer to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, because you know what? They're not attacking me. When they go up against me, they're not going against me. They're actually going up against Abba, who's on the inside of me working. That's what's happening. So I know they're thinking, I'm going to attack Holly. I'm going to attack Holly. Yeah, no. You're actually attacking Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, who's in me. Like, no offense, but it's staring you right in the face. Do you see the cross that's on my forehead? Yeah, okay. I can't be an angel, and it's probably a good thing I'm not an angel, because if I was an angel, I would go back to Heavenly Abba and report bad on you guys in the public who are bad. I'm not saying that to my close friends and support system, but I would go back to God and I'd say, you know those people, those Christian witches, those wolves in sheep's clothing, yeah, I report back bad, 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 Heavenly Abba. So anyway, guys, I'm not an angel. I conquered Project Ibis, but I am Holly Baglio. I am his servant, and I am his child. I will bear witness, and I am bearing witness, and I will tell you, with these plastic Christians, these wolves in sheep's clothing, these Christian witches, disinformation agents, people bearing false witness, people running around lying about me behind my back and not realizing, yes, I've met Russ Dizdar. Yes, we knew each other. Yes, Russ Dizdar even knew about Project Untrigger. See, I totally forgot what I was saying. I was on such a good roll. May Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh reveal to you guys who I am. May he also remind me what the hell I was saying. I hate when that happens. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Oh, but I am his wild vine grafted onto Yeshua, the branch, him in human form. I am witnessing to him and giving him my testimony about who treats me how. And I'm not reporting back very good news for some people. I'll tell you that much. I ask Abba to have these people exposed. I ask Abba to open the eyes and open the ears of innocent bystanders and other ministries and other siblings that could be detrimentally harmed or misled, or there could be witchcraft. If they're not misled, there could simply be witchcraft done against them because, again, some people believe in Christian witches, which I don't. But then also disinformation agents. Disinformation agents pretty much are not saved to Yeshua, or they pretend to be saved to Yeshua. And you Christians need to be smart. You can't be stupid and go, oh, well, this person said their Savior is Jesus. And if they were demonically possessed, they wouldn't be able to say that their Savior is Jesus. Stop that right now. That line of thinking is detrimental because people lie all the time. Demons lie all the time. Anybody can say that their Savior is Jesus. Anybody can say that. And people do lie. Why'd you retract it? Why'd you retract it? I'm not mad at any of you guys. Uh-oh, now I offended somebody. I probably offended all my friends. I should have shut it down before I said anything. I don't even know what you said, WP. Like, honestly. I hope I'm not offending you guys. I will tell you right now, I set off to be convicted. I asked Abba for conviction in my soul and heart. And I'm in prayer and fasting with him. And if I'm being convicted and I sought him out to have conviction so I could put myself in a better position with him, most likely I'm going to alienate you guys and probably say something wrong. And I don't mean to do that for you guys, but I do mean to get right with Yeshua HaMashiach. We are about to live in the... I just saw a call for an uprising. I wonder what they're putting up. If I alienated you guys, I'm sorry, but I am going to be very honest about things because we don't have any time left. People are happy that Russ Dizdar is dead. And then you get Christians in the community running around going, Holly's still programmed, totally undermining all the work that Russ Dizdar has done with me since the year 2015. By the way, these people are not coming from Hear the Watchman. The Hear the Watchman group with Mike and Jeannie and those affiliated ministries, they're fine. But I'm being attacked by people coming from coaches. And they're undermining all the work that Russ Dizdar did in me. They're calling my family and friends and my support system saying that I'm programmed, totally undermining the fact that Russ Dizdar and the SIIU team was doing deprogramming work with me. And what's worse than that is they were supposed to speak at a conference. Well, it was a huddle. It was a huddle, but there was going to be a huddle in Pennsylvania with Coach Dave and Russ Dizdar and Tom Dunn, and one of these people was going to be speaking there, or two of them. And that's really upsetting because myself and Brooke were being groomed to be speakers at these conferences. And, well, I know Brooke was overlooked, but I was overlooked. And when I was overlooked, I took it to heart. And instead they have somebody who's belittling me, undermining Russ Dizdar's work, ready to talk on stage. When I saw that, I knew that I had to reach out to Russ. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I put a call out to somebody, and I really do hope that they get back to me because I am really hurt and I am really upset about what's going on. And when I did deal with this, this is wrong. This is really wrong. And I really hope people wake up. I don't know what else to say. There's somebody out there that steps on my shoulders and steps on my throat and puts me down and then wants to turn around and take stage with Russ Dizdar or Tom Dunn or Coach for that matter. Wait a minute. Every survivor that I know doesn't want to work with that person. Every survivor I know told that person, no, stay away from me. You can't use my testimony. That person betrayed every survivor I knew. So I'll tell you what, with the passing of Russ Dizdar, it just goes to show how deep the infiltration is. Because now that Russ is gone, people are going to be running rampant. They really are. Anybody and everybody, plus their hairdresser, is going to be calling themselves a freedom deliverance minister, and they're going to have a freedom deliverance ministry. Meanwhile, I've been here for 7 years. I've been online talking to you guys for 7 years. You've been a part of my recovery program, or excuse me, you've been witness to my recovery process, and you've bared witness to the fact that I was training from Russ Dizdar since 2015. You have to bind and cast that down, Amelia. That's not me, I can tell you that much. Hey, Kim, it's good to see you. I'll smile more. Amelia, I'm really sorry that's happening to you. That is not me. I can tell you right now, I do not astral travel. I do not astral project. I do not remote view. I do not send telepathic messages. I do not bust into people's dreams. I do not create a dream and pull you into it. Yes, I have those abilities because I was created by Joseph Mangley in a test tube. I was created to be an Uberman. So, like the giants, you know, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Well, those giants had supernatural abilities. Well, I've got supernatural abilities, so I don't need to, like, summon 2 demons to astral travel to people. Which typically, if people don't want to wait for Abba to show them, or if Abba says, no, I'm not going to take you and I'm not going to show you, then typically people will run to the occult community or New Age community. They'll go get a couple of spirit light guardians, and then the next thing you know, they're astral traveling. I don't do that. I will not do that to you. I do not do that to you. There was only a couple severe instances where any of that happened, and both of those couple of instances that it happened with were life and death instances. Literal life and death, and I was involved in it. My attorney was somebody. My attorney, my father figure, who's now deceased, him and I were very close, and I was falling under spiritual attack. And that was right before my lung was collapsed. Right before I was attacked, my face broken, lung collapsed, thrown down a flight of stairs. Everything. I was attacked like a lion. Somebody attacked me the way a lion attacks a gazelle. Literally. I was running away to get away. I had my back to them, and they came out from behind me to grab me, to take me down. Not face to face, no. They came at me when I was already running away from them. That was different. But I can tell you, Amelia, and I can tell everybody else here, past, present, and future, I will not astral travel to you guys. I will not do any of that to you. I won't. I'll pick up the phone and call you. I'll shoot you an email. I'll shoot you a Facebook Messenger. Just go ask Black Ops. I drive them absolute batshit crazy. I will contact you by normal means. I will not do it in that capacity. I will ask Heavenly Abba, will you take my prayers to this person in Yeshua's name? And he will. Anything and everything I always do, I can tell you right now. I go before Heavenly Abba and I say, can I do this? Will you show me? Will you take me in Yeshua's name? I'll say to him, show me, Amelia. Or, will you take me to Jerusalem and show me what's going to happen in the streets over there during tribulation? I will ask his permission. I will not do something without his permission. I won't do it. If he says no, then it's no. Then it's no. The only thing I would undermine him on or go against him on is slipping up to have a cigarette or drinking a pint of beer, not spirits, not vodka. Either having a pint of wine or a pint of beer. But I would not do that. So, Amelia, whatever's happening to you, honey, I look forward to talking to you so that we can pray against this. But I will not do that to you. I will not do that to someone else. Absolutely not. And as far as my attorney, that was my father figure, I lived with him. He was there when I was in the hospital, unable to speak, waking up from MK Ultra. So that was, we had a very close and tight personal relationship. He was my father figure. So that was different. And let me tell you, what I showed him in the dream scared the living daylights out of him, because the next morning at 6 a.m. he was calling me up going, Holly, we gotta talk. And when he said it, my stomach fell out. My heart fell out of my chest, my stomach sank, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna terminate our relationship, our friendship. And you know what? If he had found out what I did with my ex when I had originally dropped the restraining order on my ex, he would have terminated my friendship with him. It would have devastated him, and he would have terminated our relationship. So it was better that he was deceased when I made a stupid decision like that. But I was very close with my attorney. But anyway, he called me up and he's like, Holly, we got to talk. That dream, I wrote about it in my autobiography. Read about it in my book. But he was like, we got to talk. He saw the spiritual attack. I talk about it in my book. But that was different. So whatever's happening, Amelia, I join you in spiritual warfare against this. I'm sorry that they are using my face. Yeah, Shelley Dizdar is still in the hospital. Oh, Kim Hart. Oh, yeah, there's no one like Russ Dizdar. See you later, CT. Sleep well. I'll be praying for you while you're dreaming in Yeshua's name. I miss Russ. I'm still in shock for Russ. Amelia, I am so sorry to you. We will join in spiritual warfare against this, but every time that happens to you, get rid of it. Bind it, cast it down, say, get out of here in Jesus' name. You have no right, you have no claim to me in Yeshua's name. You have no power here in Yeshua's name. Say, uncloak yourself. Take off your disguise. Who are you? Somebody could be cloaking themselves as me, which wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Shelly, I met her a couple times. Shelly's such a pretty woman. She's in the hospital. They have a CPAP on her, which is air. It's this thing that goes over your nose, and it forces air into your nostrils. So, my face too. Jeez. I'm really sorry, Amelia. I'm going to ask my friend about what kind of warfare that is. Because I can see it in my head, but I need the vocabulary. I don't always have the vocabulary. I need to take a few moments. I'm going to go collect my thoughts and vocabulary, Amelia, and I'm going to see what my friend has to say, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about it. And let's see that we can pray and break to cast that. That sounds like interesting magic that they've done. But I want the right terminology to use. Oh, I know, Rena, it is. I bet they would, Amelia, do that to you, using people close to you against you. Thank you, Lorena. I really appreciate it. I really hope I didn't upset people. Just I really feel like recently I've gotten my tuchus handed to me on a silver platter. Between the gang stalkers, then the Christians that are out to undermine me, that make me feel like a piece of crap. Rob Skiba died. Russ Dizdar died. My friend Pete Coletti died. I'm in shock with the rest of you guys. I'm in shock. I really am. I have an appointment tonight to talk with somebody because of the shock that I'm in. And I do have another appointment coming up next week to make sure that, well, these people don't know what condition I'm in. But when I show up there, I'll explain it to them in person. I'm not going to send an email right now explaining anything. When I show up face to face, I'll let them look at me and then we can talk. I'm not going to start talking now. We can just talk when I get there face to face and touch base. Make sure all of this is sunk in and make sure that I have a chance to literally and physically grieve with other people that knew Russ Dizdar. I love Coach Dave so much. You've got no idea. I love him. I miss him a lot. I miss going to his ministry. But I can't go anymore. I can't go anymore. Not with what Reggie's doing to me. Not with what she's saying about me. I can't go back to Coach Dave's. He's not going to protect me. He's letting Reggie speak from his pulpit. He's not going to... He's letting her get away with ignoring me or then treating me bad. Like, I can't go back to Coach's. And I love it there. I miss Silver and Silver's devotionals. I miss Mark Trump. I miss all of those guys. But I can't go back. Reggie's called everybody I know, all the survivors, and talked straight up trash about me. All the way to Brooke Federline. Brooke Federline called me and she's like, Holly, who is this Reggie? Why is she saying that your program when Russ Dizdar baptized you and deprogrammed you himself, along with the SIIU team? Who is this Reggie? Why is she saying this stuff? And who's Jesse, this cesspar? Who are these people, Holly? Why are they putting you down? I love Coach Dave. He's one of the 4 ministries that ordained me. But I can't go back after that. And I'll tell you what, if I go back, I'm defending myself because that's just not right and that's just not fair. I went in there asking for help and she wouldn't even talk to me. And then come to find out she's been telling everybody that I'm some sort of mental whack job. That's lunacy, because what's happening is I was used as a super soldier in MK Ultra projects in deep underground military bases, and I sought out Russ Dizdar and the SIIU team because they talk about super soldiers, and Joseph Mangley created me, so I needed Russ Dizdar and the SIIU team. As you can imagine, I was used for 37 years of my life. I've only been free and out for the past 10 years of my life. And Reggie's been calling everybody on Coach Dave Daubenmeyers and trashing me. She's actually doing a better job at trashing me than Sarah Rachel Adams and her pagan witches, friends, and groupies are at gang stalking me. sending me death threats, trying to trigger my MK Ultra programming, sending me naked photos and all of that. I wish I could go back. I will, but when I do, I'm not. That's not fair, man. That's not fair. That's not fair what's happening at all. I have procrastinated in writing people. I procrastinated in writing Russ Dizdar. I procrastinated in writing to everybody else. And I started writing to people. But I'll tell you what, that's just not. Reggie called up Brooke. And oh my God, talking trash to Brooke about me, trying to get Brooke to believe that I'm programmed and I'm handled and I'm not helpful. She's saying I'm not helpful. I broadcast from FringeRadioNetwork.com. What do you mean I'm not helpful? I am beyond helpful. I gave away my autobiography and all my drawings for free. What do you mean I'm not helpful? It's you, Reggie. It's you. And now you got Coach Dave wrapped around your finger, believing all your lies. Believing all your lies. Russ hasn't been healthy since we had the Expelling the Darkness conference. I don't go to Through the Black ministry. I give Tom Dunn my prayers, and I'm sorry for his loss. I'm really sorry that he's hurting, but I don't have anything to do with Through the Black. And there's another reason for that, but I'm not going to talk about that stuff unless I am with them face to face in person. But I do have everything to do with Russ Dizdar. I do have everything to do with the SIIU team. Thank you, Amelia. So, yeah, it's not right and it's not fair. It's just not it. So if Reggie wants the spotlight and she wants those donations, I don't know what for, then let her have it, because you can't take it with you to heaven. So listen, guys, I'm going to go. I've been talking 2 hours. All right, I think that's enough time, because then so I'm not going to be able to preach from my pulpit until like 9, 10 o'clock tonight. But Fastbo, it's up on YouTube community tab. I don't know, she popped up about 4 months ago. I'm a survivor's advocate. Maybe she popped up about 10 months ago. She attached herself to Coach's rectum. She just bulldozed her way through everything. She asked me to be a speaker at her conference, and I said yes, but I need you to sponsor me and pay. I can't afford another $800 for a car rental, hotel, and to come back out to Ohio. Oh my gosh! She storms off. And then from that conference, April 2021, until now, because there was a conference in April, until now, she ignored me. The only time she ever said anything to me was about Project Untrigger, because at that point I had I emailed Russ Dizdar about Project Untrigger. I told him about my broadcast. I sent him the link to it. And then she drilled me on Coach Dave's chat room. What do you mean? Where'd you get this, Thoth Moses? Thoth is a fallen angel. Yeah, Thoth is a fallen angel. And she challenged me. And the way she did it was very belittling. And she did it publicly. And in the Bible, it says, talk to your brother or sister in private. If it doesn't work, then take another person with you and go again in private to talk to your brother or sister if you have a problem. Reggie didn't do any of that, and she did it publicly to me. So, with the same measure she has used with me, I have taken her lead, I have taken her example, and I will give her back the same measure. So, well, I guess she's belittling me. When she found out that I was on FM radio, the UK, home of the Beatles, you know who the Beatles are, Holly. I had a interview this year. It was really cool. Welcome to the home of the Beatles, Holly. I went on the UK FM radio station, the same station that the Beatles rocked. When Reggie found out about that, and then she found out about me working on Project Untrigger, which is to get people to read the Bible while they're highly triggered and as well as targeted, to get them to read the Bible and have the most interesting storylines, capture their attention, to get the MK Ultra to stop spinning. So then I can get somebody in the Bible, and that's when Yeshua can show them the way out. And that's when Yeshua can really do the work and help and to heal someone. She was all over me. Flash, Terror, and others have done other things to trigger and cast spells. Stop. We can still talk. Holly, everything you came through, can you get through this? I hate that band. You hate that band? What band? I'm sorry. Forgive me. I hate that short-term memory loss. I say something and then I can't for the life of me remember. Hey, ECWN, WWF. Hua, hua, hua. Oh, and hua, 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 hua. Soft. Yeah, she calls herself a survivor's advocate, self-appointed and self-proclaimed. No, she's not. No, she's not. Survivors said, we don't trust you, we don't like you. No, you cannot use our testimony. I heard those survivors' testimony, and then I saw, months later, Reggie gets on Coach Dave Daubenmire's platform talking about these survivors, and she's spewing one of my friend's testimonies. I'm like, wait a minute, she's talking about my friend. My friend doesn't have anything to do with Reggie. Why is Reggie giving my friend's testimony? I went back to my friend, and my friend said, I told her she's not allowed to have my testimony, and she can't use my testimony. And Reggie did it anyway. Reggie has stepped on the shoulders of other survivors, pushing their head under the water and drowning them just so she could stand above the waves and get the credit and get the glory and get the donations. And yes, I'm being honest. And no, when I look at her, I don't see Yeshua shining through her. I never did. I met her in person. You have to remember that. I've met her in person. There's something unevenly off about her. Oh, yeah, I'll meet you, Kim. We can do that in private, absolutely. Dumbbells gives me a hernia. Her webpage is down. I got you on Facebook. We can talk through there, Kim. Sometimes Facebook doesn't give me notifications. I just noticed a couple people today. I was like, I would have accepted your friend request sooner if I knew if it was there. Yeah, she's not. I don't know where Reggie came from, but she's not a survivor's advocate. And as far as I'm concerned, she's infiltrated. She had somebody talking on Coach Dave's panel, but the problem is whoever Reggie brought on Coach Dave's panel as a victim, none of my friends knows who it is. Now I'm friends with a lot of people, and a lot of people are friends with me. And we talk with each other, a lot of people and I. Yes, a lot of people and I, we talk with each other. I and a lot of people, we talk. So I don't know who those people are that she had on Coach Dave's panel, because the person was hiding behind an icon. And there were a whole bunch of red flags. So me and my friends don't know who she had on Coach Dave's panel. I have got no idea the speaker that was supposed to talk at the PA huddle with Reggie, I've got no idea, but it is insulting that they did not ask me, considering I've spoken before with them, and considering that I was training with Russ Dizdar and he baptized me, considering I'm already public, considering that they know I was grooming and working to be a speaker at these conferences, and she came out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden she's up on a pedestal. Something is wrong, off, and strange about that. I've been around for years. Years. Not a couple weeks, not a couple months. I've been around for years. I'm vetted. From the UFO to the super soldier community to the Christian community, back around again. From here to Israel and the other side of the world and back around again. So I don't get it. I guess people are sick and tired of me. But that's pretty terrible, because first they invest in me, and then when it comes time to speak at the conference, that rug I'm standing on, they rip it out from underneath my feet. So they get my hopes up. Yeah, you can speak, and we're grooming you. And then the carpet I stand on, they rip it out from underneath my feet. But I'll tell you, somebody who has never, ever done that to me, somebody who has never ever rip the carpet out from under my feet when it comes to speaking engagements is Hear the Watchman. Hear the Watchman has always been amazing to me when it comes to that. They really have. When I am there and I can make it, they always give me the privilege and honor, humble and pleasure to sit there and face to face give them my interview. Face to face, stand there and speak at their conferences, speak in front of their video camera, speak to groups of people, go to lunch and sit with a whole bunch of people and speak at that lunch. Hear the Watchman has never done anything like that bad. They never ripped that carpet out from underneath my feet. Hear the Watchman has always treated me in an upstanding, respectful manner at all times. Here the Watchman there is no issue with them. So where this turbulence is coming from, it's coming from other ministries. But Hear the Watchman is awesome. I love Hear the Watchman. I have loyalty for Hear the Watchman. I have trust with Hear the Watchman. Speaking of Hear the Watchman, I should call them more often. And yes, I'm going to pick up my phone and call them when I put this phone down. You're not making me sad, Raina. Oh, man, I love you. I love you, Raina. I love Coach Dave. I love Coach Dave so much, you got no idea. Really. He is a hero to some of my altars. He is a hero. Yeshua HaMashiach is my all-time hero, okay? First and foremost him. But to some of my altars, Coach Dave is my hero. I love him so much. It's that Reggie has really put a very bad damper on things, to the point that I feel like I can't even show my face around the very ministry who ordained me, and the very ministry who I've spoken at their conferences before. I've spoken at Sky High. I was offered to stay at Coach's place for a conference just to make sure I could get there. I love Coach Dave Daubenmeier himself. I love Mrs. Coach. You know, I love Silver. I miss his daily devotionals, and Mark Trump and Craig and all of those brilliant minds talking. But what Reggie has done to me, I don't know how to go back. And I want to go back. I was there for years and years before she was. She comes along like a battle axe and shoves me out. May Abba's will be done. May Abba's will be done over mine, and definitely over Reggie's, in Yeshua's name. And may Heavenly Abba, may it be in his will that Heavenly Abba brings me back to my ministry. In Yeshua's name, Selah. I love you, Dory. I know you guys buy your fruits. You guys in my chat room have beautiful fruits. Kim, I got your little notification. Sorry I didn't get back. All right, Kim or Lorena, when I'm feeling up to it, I want to go back. Maybe I could just let you know I'm going back in a quiet manner. So that way, at least when I go back, I know I got somebody with me, like in spirit, and just somebody there with me. So I don't have to go it alone. Like kind of holding my hands, but don't tell anybody you're holding my hand. Seeing things out of the corner of my eyes again. I'm still under spiritual attack. I'm going to stay in prayer and fasting. Okay, guys, with that note, I'm going to get off the phone. Imagine that. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to run my errand. I'm going to need about an hour and a half, but tonight I want to talk about spiritual warfare, what I do on a daily basis, the things I think about and pray about, what it's like for me, even touching on my altars as well as the MK Ultra. But I'll do like HTV ministry. I will write down notes and I will try to run a nice broadcast, and I will focus on my notes during the broadcast, and then at the end we can go through and I can pay attention to what you say in my chat room. But hey, Kim, I got your message and we can always chat in private. I will do panels, but it's not gonna just be open panels. If I do open panels again, I'm going to make sure that I have a bunch of people with me. So I don't have to stand there alone and go, excuse me, I have to play Mrs. Police Officer right now and say you pulled a foul on my panel. You're not allowed to show tarot cards. You're not allowed to cast spells on me and my audience. I love you. No, actually, I don't. I don't love evil. Even God hates evil. He detests evil. Yes, he calls evil people detestable. I did a Bible study on that. I think it's back in, can't believe I forgot about it, Deuteronomy. All right, guys, I promise I will not be a laughing madman. Oh, I love Coach. You got no idea, though. I really do love him. I love the other people that are on there. But she really did some bad stuff, and she does have something to answer for. I would have never, I don't do to people what she's done to me. I'm just, that's why I'm going to be your advocate. Honestly, all this time, the survivors have always given me their permission to be their mouthpiece. I'm going to do it from now on. I'm going to be their mouthpiece. I'm going to speak up. Thank you. All right, sorry I haven't been in my chat room too much for the Lord. He has, but Coach Dave is the true, but he has more than one infiltrator there. I have not been there in a month, for the Lord has led me away from now, but the Lord will clean the way. WP, I kept asking Abba, why am I off the raft? Why am I off the raft? I've been led away, and I'm by myself on an inner tube floating along this body of water. And Abba's like, you'll come back around. You'll come back around. You'll see. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, WP. Maybe it's time that I take the training wheels off and I start up HTV Ministries. I want to take the pulpit. I want to preach from it. And I want to do this stuff with you guys every day. I want to worship him, learn how to worship him. I want, you know, I want to work the 10 commandments with you guys. I want to give him my gestures too. I want to be right with him. I want to be right with his doctrine. Um, and yes, there are a few infiltrators. There's a Zionist. I can't do the Zionist stuff. Arguing with a Zionist when you say, hey, I don't believe in the rapture doctrine, they're like, oh, you're calling Jesus a liar. No, I just said I don't believe in the rapture doctrine. Actually, technically, I'm calling you a liar because I know he's the truth. And you're lying with that rapture. Yeah, the Zionists, they put words in your mouth. They twist your words around. I have a lot of experience with Zionists. Um, yeah, there's a few infiltrators and some people that are talking from his panel. It's taking away from him and his message. It really is. I love Coach. Like, I love Mrs. Coach, but some of those other people, it's like, oh, man, shut them up. Please shut them up. I go there to see Coach. I don't go there to see these other people. And like even in his after party too, it's like, you have Mark Trump and Craig and Silver all talking. They're having these brilliant conversations. And then here comes some battle axe that is just doing I don't know what. Diminishing the conversation, diminishing the fellowship. They take it over. They don't get the magnitude and the severity of the message that Coach Dave is carrying for you, Dave Vafe. They don't understand. This isn't like a little kid's ministry. So what if he wears a baseball cap? The man is professional. He's putting his heart into his work. This isn't like, how like James Pollock treated my panel, hopping on drunk onto my panel, thinking it's just a hee-haw good time, right? Now, Coach Dave doesn't do that. And I've noticed some people get on his panel and act like he's one of those, act like he's a nobody. And meanwhile, Coach is an upstanding, great man of God, public figure, public speaker, online church, online ministry, helping tons and tons of people. And then you get people belittling him and diminishing him. And that's frustrating. I don't know. So anyway, I personally like to rise to the occasion and do better myself and step up to the plate. Sorry I haven't been talking too much in my chat. Sometimes if I don't focus on what I'm saying, I get off on a tangent and then I can't remember what I'm saying, and that's why I don't focus on what's being said in my chat room. But then when I get done with the 2.5 hour show, I'm looking at my chat room going, I have 2.5 hours of comments I didn't even see. And now I've been rude to you guys, and I didn't intentionally mean to be rude to you or inconsiderate of you. When I do run witchcraft is, and we can pray against it. I was not in that world, and it was very hard learning about the gang stalking and targeting. Kim, you'll hang out with me. You'll learn about the targeting, gang stalking. You'll see me go through it. But I don't mean to be rude to you guys. Okay? I'm really humbled, Amelia. You say such kind things. The callers, like, they can't, when you, like, listen into your cell phone, nobody can see your number. They don't. It blocks out most of the number. So, like, the people on the panel don't see your phone number. I don't mind calling in. I just didn't like calling in because I could never type to everybody, and I like typing and engaging people. I love Coach Dave's. I love his after party too, and everybody can hang out and talk. Yeah, that one. That one, ECWN. So, but there's a couple bad eggs, and those bad eggs really, um, I just, I really hope they don't get their clutches into being speakers at these conferences, because then we're going to have a bunch of people that are distracted by disinformation agents. People, basically Christian witches. Christian witches. That's what Reggie has been attracting, and I've got no use for it. And I'm not going that route. I have seen this type of stuff take down ministries before. There was another famous freedom deliverance ministry, wonderful man, on point, just as good and just as powerful as Russ Dizdar, doing the exact same stuff as Russ Dizdar. And these Christian witches took him down, took him off air. You can't get in touch with him anymore. He doesn't do freedom deliverances anymore. They crippled his ministry. And now with Reggie and what she's doing, you know, I heard that Coach Dave was poisoned. I don't know if that's true or not, but some of these shit starters of that ministry, oh yeah, there's some shit starters to that ministry. I don't know if that's true or not, but Rob Skiba, Russ Dizdar, they're dead. Thank heaven. Steve Quayle, praise be to Abba for Yeshua. Steve Quayle is recovering. I'm so happy for the good news. But this is not a joke. I was just poisoned last week. I almost died from poisoning. I wasn't on the list. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that the spiritual warfare is real, and they are coming to take people down. And it doesn't matter if you're standing next to that person they want to take down, they will take you down with them. MKU from a bloodline. I can't wait to talk to Amelia. Oh, he did? Oh, that's a shame, because I could have jumped in and I could have handed Reggie her ass the way she's been doing it to me and been like, so, Reggie, you want to treat me like this publicly? Well, now I'm going to come back at you and defend myself publicly. I'll wait till he turns it back on. Oh, I love Doug Hagman. Going around, Russ. Yeah, Russ was on it. Steve was on it. So is Coach. Yeah, I heard about the list. Yep, a bunch of people were on it. Steve Quayle did a video just yesterday on Brighton with Michael Adams. And there are a few more. Who else? Do you have the list, the actual list of names? If you have the actual list of names, I need it. Get it for me. And can you hang on a second? WP, I'm dead serious. This is important. I've been wanting this. Is there an actual list? Like where they actually wrote down the name, like, you know, Rob, Coach, Russ. Do you have that list? If you have that actual list, however the list was released, can you get me that list released in its original form, the way it was put up on the internet? Do you know what I'm asking for? You know, the list was released. So however the list was released, can you get me that list in its original context, the way it was released. I'm not talking about IP addresses or anything. I just the way it was released. Who's Saw Man? 10 pennies. She better be careful. Thank you, WP. HollyBaglio11@gmail.com. WP, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Stu Peters. Oh, wait, no, I'm confusing him with somebody else, I think. Craig Sawyer. I know a couple of Craigs. Now I got to go through my Rolodex in my head. Thank you, WP. I want to look at it the way I want to see it. Okay? That's why. And I want to see it in every aspect. I want to see the way it was listed and how it was listed. The child trafficking survivor who worked for a fake child trafficking. Oh, savior. One way is the fake child. Okay, we'll have to take that conversation up offline because I'm losing. Oh, he tries to claim he rescues kids. Oh, yeah, that's just like Reggie claiming to be a survivor's advocate. Okay, I will. I don't know that I know this Craig person. Or if you have a link, that would be fine. If you could tell me where to go get it, that would be fine. 2, WP, don't forget that. If I can get myself to it, please let me know. Heebie-jeebies. Yeah, I keep to myself a lot, I'll be honest, Amelia, I don't. I can't look at that yet, Huntress, but I will. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to need some time. I will be back because, again, I wrote my first ministry's broadcast about spiritual warfare. And now I've run like a 2-hour-long video. Oh, you rock, WP. You rock. All right. I'm going to go do my errands and then I'll be back. I'm so sorry, guys. Forgive me. If you're going to... Oh, that's right. It's a happy Friday. Yes. Steve Quayle's recovering. Thank all praise and glory be to Heavenly Abba. If you're going to have a wonderful... Thank God it's Friday. I will be back. I got to go now because now my appointment's like, hey, where are you? Okay. I'll be back. I love you guys. I'll see you shortly. Uh-oh.